My name is Djamel Lhermitus, and I will be presenting my paper on the advancements and ethical considerations of AI-based generation tools. This paper will examine the current state of AI generation tools, including text-to-image, text generators, and text-to-speech models, and their impact on end users. It will also talk about ethical concerns such as bias, hallucinations, and misattribution of works, as well as different countries' plans for AI development. This paper will conclude by emphasizing the importance of considering these ethical concerns in the development and implementation of AI-based generation tools. In the category of text-to-image generation, we have Midjourney, DALL-E, and Stable Diffusion, where the user can just input a text message as a prompt, and it will generate an image based on that. For text generators, we have ChatGPT 3 and 4, which is the newest model, and we also have Google Bard, and they are usually referred as large language model LLM. And lastly, for text-to-speech, we have 11 Lab AI, which allow you to create audio based on the text that you input, and you can also have different voice, and you can also have like popular artist voice, or you can even clone your own voice and play it as an audio. A real-world application of text-to-image generation is the most recent case presented in the 2022 in the US Copyright Office, and it was whether the art generated by Midjourney could be copyrighted to the author, Christina, or not. And the conclusion was that while the text and arrangement would be recognized and copyrighted for authorship, the AI art were not authorized for copyright. Here are another three examples. The first one is ChatGPT 4, where you input a schedule into it as a form of text, and it will generate you the common availability between multiple users. The second one is about some arts that were generated by Midjourney, and the third one is about 11 Lab, and this is the product that they provide to users, so you can have the AI voice read books for you, you can read articles, and you can read newsletters. As for ethical concerns, we have three categories. The first one is bias, amplification, and mass generation of data. The second one is hallucination, and the third one is misattribution of work. Machine learning models can be trained in two different ways, either with unlabeled data where the AI will figure out things autonomously, or with labeled data. However, both cases will result in bias if the data provided was biased to begin with, or just the algorithm recognizing patterns. In addition to AI tendency to amplify bias from training data, they're also good at generating all type of text for applications that sound as believable as if they were written by humans. An example was a Reddit account that was asking questions and commenting on with answers that were generated by Philosopher AI, which is just an implementation of ChatGPT 3 APIs. And it was able to pass as a human for a week before someone else realized that. AI text generators are also more difficult to distinguish in discussion posts compared to bots that have a fixed pattern, where any person can realize that it's the same box texting the same things over and over. There are also experiments done testing the credibility of news written by ChatGPT-2, which was an earlier model of GPT-3, and they compared them with human counterparts. And the results showed that those news articles were deemed credible or even more credible to the one that the human wrote. So this indistinguishable characteristic make it both appealing and dangerous. Many newspapers are requiring the author to disclose if they use ChatGPT and the article as co-authors, but this does not limit how much of the work can be done by AI, and what work done by the AI was passed as the author's work, which can be considered as a form of plagiarism. And most, if not all schools have categorized text generators output as plagiarism or cheating, and they should not be copied and used as answers. The next concern that is raised is the tendency of AI to hallucinate. In this context, hallucination refers to generating text that is misleading, inaccurate, or even harmful, yet they sound highly convincing that they can be used for spreading misinformation to the population. This is something that is affecting all data to text generation. And while different solutions are being presented and implemented, even the latest model of ChatGPT-4 has it stated as a limitation. Google Model Bot, on the other hand, has a built-in Google It button, so in case you're not sure of the outputs, you can Google it easily. Lastly, there's the misattribution of work. Because of AI's realistic output, developers are creating counter software to identify whether the work was done by human or AI machines. However, it resulted in two major issues. The first one is false positive, and the second one is outdated detection. False positive comes when the work is completely done by a human, but when it's tested, it said that it was written by AI. And those examples, you got like some papers that were really old papers, and you put them in the generators, however, it still said that it was written by an AI. How did the detection happen? When by the time a new detection tool and algorithm get developed and published, the text generator is already improved and making the detector outdated. And this continue, the detector get updated again, but the generator is already updated for the next level. On the side of image generators, artists and designers are being affected when the artwork looks similar to the one generated by AIs. So there have been a lot of complaints about unethical acquisition of training data for image generators, as the original artists were not notified or compensated for the use. In addition, safety checkers had to be implemented to block the generation of child pornography. So some generators also completely block the generation of sexual content. So I've seen both text and image generators become keepers for creators when the submission form automatically flag their works as AI generated. So this could be between a balance of whether to allow creators to fully post their work when it is ready with the rest of consumer interacting with AI generated work, or flagging any suspicious work, which in turn reduce trust from creators and mad consumers about receiving delayed content. The most prominent approach to the development of AI ethics are the principle of beneficence, non-maleficence, and autonomy. The principle of beneficence states that AI shall do people good and that the good must outweigh the potential harm that it can cause. The principle of non-maleficence states that AI shall not harm people, and this extends to issues such as bullying, hate speech, which can be easily generated in form of text, audio, or images. Lastly, the principle of autonomy states that AI shall respect people's goals and wishes. However, there are also limitations to when the AI needs to accept the command, a situation that would be when it contradicts with the other principles. For example, if someone is asking AI to generate a program to hack into a server, which would be unethical, but if the person on that server and they are trying to find vulnerability to fix them, then it becomes an ethical and responsible question to ask. In the worst case, the AI can provide unethical output as ethical, leaving the responsibility to the end user. Global analysis. Both France and China have similar AI ethics, so they include that AI development should conform to human values, ethics, and morality, should be based on the premise of safeguarding societal security and respecting human rights, and should also eliminate bias and discrimination in the process of data acquisition. Compared to other countries so far, the US ethics are based on companies' self-regulation, but they are deemed insufficient. Examples include the Association for Computing Machinery that published the Code of Ethics for Professional Conduct, and there's also partnership between Apple, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft, and they also have their own AI advisory board, and they pledge to develop and share the best practice, including on ethics. In conclusion, AI-based generative tools have advanced significantly in recent years, including text generation, image, and audio models that are efficient and accurate. However, there also raise ethical concerns surrounding their usage, including the data used for training that can have bias, hallucinations, and misattribution of works. It is important to explore those potential applications of these tools and the limitation to ensure that development is ethical and responsible. It is also important to consider various ethical approaches taken by AI development and to understand the different countries that have different plans. Thank you for listening.